Hey guys, welcome back to Anime Analysis. And today, Akame got killed. The tier list is here. As you guys know, I did a poll. You guys selected Akame got killed. To me, it's not really like my favorite anime in the world, but it is entertaining, and I like to always, in any way I can, do what you guys want. And I hope that this is the start of it. I plan on doing polls for each and every single tier list I can. Now, we're going to talk Akame got killed. We've got this tier list in front of me. I've also got the pictures of every character with their name next to them. And the reason for that is because I want to ensure that I don't forget anyone's name. Because I remember just about what everyone does outside of maybe 2 people. Maybe 3. So I would hope that that wouldn't be a problem. So we're going to get started. I'm going to pick a random person to start with because I want to be able to talk a lot about the first few people. Let's start with my man Lubbock, who I saw, but is there... This whole tier list is like repeating multiple times for some reason. We're going to start with Lubbock. I'm going to bring him over here. So, if anybody out there has ever heard of League of Legends, this dude is literally Ezreal with green hair. I'm surprised they never made an Ezreal skin that gave him green hair, but it's good because they can't anymore or League will get copyrighted. And it's a surprise that League didn't copyright this guy for looking like Ezreal, but it was an honest mistake, and I'd argue that I believe the Akame got killed manga came first, but I'm not fully sure about that. The funny thing with Lubbock is that he was one of my favorite characters. I was told before I watched this show that Ezreal is in this, and I was like, what? Because like it was and I was like, okay, he does actually look a lot like Ezreal. But moving on from that, I think that Lubbock is a character that was good, but I think his Imperial arms sucked. His Imperial arms was really good defensively. He had all his strings wrapped up around him, and it was like this big defensive cocoon for himself, and I thought that was really cool. But what I didn't think was cool was the fact that he really wasn't as strong as I had hoped he was. I thought the way he used it was really cool, and to me, if I was going to pick an Imperial arms in that world, I think his would be one of the ones that I would consider. So I like that altogether. I will give Lubbock, I'll start him out at I'm going to start him at an A. I'm having trouble deciding otherwise, but I think I start him at an A, and we'll see where he goes. I don't think he's the strongest, but I do really like his character, so I'll put him there. Okay, we'll go ahead and get Akame out of the way. So Akame is obviously one of the strongest people in this entire universe. Her Imperial arms is her sword, and if she cuts herself with her sword, she essentially turns immortal, and we saw that she was able to kill Esdeath with that, and Esdeath is somebody we thought nobody could kill beforehand. So, in terms of power level, Akame is obviously an S. Now, the thing is with Akame is that she's just a boring character. She does have a lot of backstory, and there is a manga, Akame got killed 0, that should hopefully have an anime adaptation coming soon. And if that happens, we'll learn a lot more about Akame's past, and she infinitely will be a much better character. But all we knew before was that she's Akame. We don't really know much else, and that was that. So throughout the show, not that great. The Akame got killed 0 manga has helped people learn a lot more about her, and that's there. But that's really all we get. I think for sure Akame is an S because of that power level, so we're going to start her there. And what I usually do on tier list, just as a reminder, the one on the furthest left, so like if I put Leone up here, I'm saying Akame is stronger than Leone. The one on the left is the stronger one. But Leone is not an S either. My man Bulat. So obviously we know that Incurcio is one of the strongest Imperial arms out there. But I would also like to argue that it's not only the Imperial arms, it's the user of the Imperial arms. And Bulat did not do nearly as much as Tatsumi did with it, because Bulat died with it. And Tatsumi, yeah, he died too, but he evolved it first and did way more work than Bulat ever did. I think Bulat is not that good of a fighter. I did very much like him as a character, but that's really all there is. And I think he's going to be the B. Okay. So we've got these 2 blonde-haired ladies I need to look up. This is where I forget people's names, but I somewhat remember what they do. Are one of you the Emperor? I think one of them is the Emperor. No. This is Run from the Jaegers. And it's just the same person in 2 different pictures, I believe. I don't think she pops up here too. Hey, they look like 2 different people. No, they don't. No, they don't. Okay, so I'm going to find out what Run's Imperial Arms is real quick, because I actually forgot, so my fault. But we're going to figure that out. Oh, Run is a dude. Does that look like a dude to you? Please tell me that does not look like a dude. Is this one the dude? They're... Are we sure? Yeah, because he doesn't pop up anywhere else. Okay, you just look a lot like a girl. Like, big time. Okay. So I'm guessing if your name is Run, you run really well, right? Let me see what you can do. The 1,000-mile flight. Its basic skill gives Run a pair of wings that allow him to fly and unleash piercing feathers to strike foes. It also has a trump card which allows him to reflect attacks. Okay. So you can fly and you can reflect attacks. Tatsumi can fly with his Imperial Arms. So you're not better than Tatsumi. Reflecting attacks is helpful to an extent, but you definitely can't reflect all of them. Run is probably better than Bulat, but I don't think he should go any further. I can't get over how much he looks like a girl. Like, what kind of character design is that? Okay, so there's like 14 pages of Run in here, so I'm just gonna move him down. That works. Let's do. Who are you? Okay, this is. It's one of those things where like my mind is jogged immediately. I can't go watch the whole show again, and you know that's gonna take way too much time. So we got to find out who this guy is now. I assume is he is a Jaeger. Dr. Stylish, and Dr. Stylish, he's just really smart. Okay, so he's literally just the smart strategy guy. So obviously that's trash in terms of power level. No, I'll give him a C, because even though he doesn't have any ability to fight, when you can organize things, you do deserve credit. Like, he organized a lot of the Jaeger's attacks, and that's why they were as successful as they were. So I'll put that in there. I don't have much memories of Dr. Stylish. I do apologize about that. Okay. This is Wave, I believe. And Wave has... I'm going to do Wave now. Wave has the second version of... or the other version of Tatsumi's Incursio. What's cool about that is that we know Incursio is extremely strong, but we also have to think about the user. Wave has not done much with his Incursio, or his, I forgot what it was called, but he has not done as much as Tatsumi has done with his Incursio, and for that reason alone, he isn't that great. Now, that proves that he's not that great of a user of it, because maybe his version is even better than Incursio is. And we still don't really know. Now, I do think that armor is better than a lot of Imperial arms. Like, Leone's Imperial arm sucks. So, I'm actually just going to get Leone out of the way. So, I think we would give him probably an A. I think an A fits pretty well. No, because, like, we look at Bulat's Incursio, right? I would say that maybe Wave is the same as Bulat, where he's not that great of a user of said Imperial arms. So, now, let's see who we want to do next. Chelsea. Chelsea was stupid OP. You're not Chelsea. You're Chelsea. Chelsea was stupid OP. And what I mean when I say that is it's like the fact that you can... Was she the one that could transform into anyone? I'm pretty sure. And if she wasn't, I apologize. But I'm pretty sure she could transform into anyone. And it was so easy for her to kill people because she did that. I think that's what was so great, and she died like almost instantly. And the reason why I found out that the reason why I thought that they killed her in like 2 to 3 episodes had a really, really, really good feeling. I had a really good feeling that the reason is because of how stupid OP she was, and it just made everything easy and everything unrealistic. If they were gonna struggle later, when Chelsea could have just easily invaded and taken them out in seconds. Chelsea, to me, is the second S of the series. Absolutely incredible, and it sucks that she died, but it made complete sense. Okay, you're not Chelsea. You're the lady with the dog. You're one of the Jaegers. Your name is Seryu, I believe? Yes. And I'm just going to try and remember what the dog does. I'm looking it up right now. 10 powerful weapons which function as modifications to her body. She often swaps these weapons around in combat using Koro's main body, and as noted by Mind, they're incredibly powerful despite not being Imperial arms. So this isn't even Imperial arms, but she's still extremely powerful because she has that ability. So Seryu is good, obviously is better than a strategist at the least. I think we would put her right here. I think that's a good spot. Mine was nothing else other than a love interest for Tatsumi. Great, you have a gun. Big deal. Incursio can fly and destroy giant monstrosities. And you can shoot a gun. Big deal. They have guns without Imperial arms. So, no, you're not really that great. You're not. I would say a strategist is better than you. And you were only used as a love interest. Kurome. So you would think that if Akame is an S, Kurome is also an S, but the answer is no. Akame killed Kurome. So if Kurome sucked and died to Akame, obviously there is something there. Now, this is another thing with Akame Got Kill 0, if it does end up getting animated, is we'll learn a lot about Kurome as well, and it'll be interesting to see if Kurome is actually a lot more powerful than we were able to see, because she did have some sort of disease or something that slowed her down. So yeah, Kurome, you kind of suck, but you're probably better than all those people because you were able to put up a fight with Akame. Okay. Sheele had a pair of scissors, and she was the second character to die. Clearly, you weren't that good if you died that early on in the series to random enemies. But you're better than Bulat because he died first. Esdeath is one of the most powerful people in this entire world. She has this ice ability, which I'm not sure if it's even Imperial arms, but there's just ice she can use to freeze people and so on. Is she really that great of a character or even that great of a villain? The answer is no. She's actually terrible, and I hated her, and she literally ruined 80% of the show. It's just every scene she was on, I didn't think she was by any means intimidating or anything like that. Or a lot of other times they give villains a really good backstory, and you understand why they're a villain. They didn't do that with Esdeath. She was just there. That's it. I really didn't understand. I really didn't see a point. I think Esdeath was just stupid, didn't matter, shouldn't have even existed, but was very powerful. So with all those things considered, I'm going to put Esdeath at the top of the A category. But not an S. Okay. We did Leone, right? Yeah, we took care of that. We just made sure that was moved out of the way. This guy as well, not even going to explain. He's one of the most annoying characters in the entire series in anime, period. Susanoo is one of my favorite characters in anything, period. This guy was so cool, and it was an absolute shame that they killed him off. I really thought he should have survived till the end, but he didn't. Was he that powerful? No, his Imperial... So the cool thing about Susanoo is that he is an Imperial arms. It's an Imperial arms that takes the shape and form of a human. I think that's the coolest thing ever. Let's start with that. Second of all, the other really cool thing with Susanoo is that his special ability is to give his own master, the one who holds his Imperial arms, more power. Also ridiculously cool. Cool doesn't necessarily mean good. I like him a lot, and it's hard for me not to give him an S, but I'm going to have to not give him an S. I do think, however, that he deserves right there at the A tier. I think that's a good spot for him. Najenda, who is the leader of Night Raid, automatically gets bonus points because she's the leader of Night Raid. She's the strategist, just like Big I and C is. So there's the credit there. But one, Najenda was not involved in pretty much any fights whatsoever and was kind of just the overseer of everything. And two, your Imperial arms, which is that fake arm, doesn't really do anything other than operate as an arm. I really didn't see what the point necessarily was. Maybe we'll get a little bit more backstory on her in Akame Got Kill 0, because we know, of course, that Akame will join Night Raid eventually in that series, and if that happens, then we'll learn how it all came to be, but otherwise I really don't get the point. So, honestly, the agenda is almost trash, but I'll give it a B. Okay. We will now close out with Tatsumi. We all know Tatsumi. Some people love him. I don't like him. I think he was very powerful, and I think as a standard shonen protagonist, he fit. I think that he was obnoxious. I think that he was annoying. I think that he was a wimp. And I think we, by all means, should not have even had him on the show. I think if Akame was the main character from the beginning, it would have been a lot better. I mean, the show's named after her. But somehow, this guy named Tatsumi is the main character. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense. Tatsumi sucks. I don't like him. But he is not the most powerful, but one of the most powerful people in the entire world. We know what he did to the Emperor when he killed the Emperor, who was in that giant monstrosity. He evolved in Curcio. And then he had to stop that monstrosity from killing everybody, and he did, sacrificing his own life for it. He was a hero, but he was not a likable character whatsoever. And so for that reason, he gets an A. And let me reorder these A category here, because I think I would probably put him there. I don't know if he would beat Esdeath, honestly. I don't think he would. I don't think he would. So, that's my list. You are welcome to hate me as much as you please in the comments section. I encourage it. I love when people hate what I have to say in the comment section. I absolutely also would appreciate if you guys would make your own tier list and then let me know down below where you would move some different people. If you want to go down in the description below, you can find my Twitter, twitter.com/AnimeAnalysis, as well as a playlist where you can watch some more tier lists. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.